Yes, yes, yes. All right, it's started. We are on now. Okay, so hello, this is wmpyr, and I have a very very special guest with me today, Mr. Ryck, who is, I've mentioned to you guys before, he is one of the creators of this card game, Unruly Bastards. I'm so excited for Ryck to finally be here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is fantastic, and thank you for hyping the game. Appreciate it.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I did get to play this during the holidays with family.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, because like with family, we like to play all kinds of board games and card games and stuff like that. So it's kind of a normal thing for us. We this game is so crazy. Just reading the cards itself is fun. You don't even have to play the game. You could just read the freaking cards, right? and some of the stuff in here is insane.
Yeah.
Now, there are a lot of this kind of game out there in the market, right? I noticed that it felt pretty different. Okay, so good. In your words, what is one of the things that would you say makes it stand out, makes it different from the other card games that's out there?
Okay, yeah. Okay, I think it's the creative component to it.
Okay.
A lot of card games, literally, like you're dealt a card,
yeah,
you have to answer or respond with another card. So there's just 2 data sets of predetermined answers.
Right.
And it's fun and creative within like a narrow band. What we do is kind of the next level of that, in that you're given 2 cards that provide a situation, another card that provides a kind of a character.
Yes.
And then you as an individual, without the use of cards, have to respond, combining these 2 factors in real time, and for, you know, in a competition kind of thing, to get someone's vote, to think that your response is the funniest. So it's kind of an improv component.
Yes.
To it that a lot of card games don't have. And what's scary is, like, we try to downplay the improv part initially.
Okay.
People would hear that and go, "Oh, I'm not an improver."
Mm-hmm.
As we tested the game out, those people that would say, "Oh, I'm not an improver," would rock house. They would kill me. And the greatest responses that were like, "Dude, we played this," and I kid you not.
Yeah.
A Catholic priest, a physicist, teachers, students, like, I mean, we literally covered the whole spectrum.
Yeah.
And everybody from that spectrum was like, "Oh, I'm not an improv person."
Right, right.
At the end of the game, man, they were cracking themselves up. Their spouses were like, "Who the hell is this?" Like, it was just awesome to watch people kind of literally metamorphose and come out of their shell.
Yeah.
So that's the component of it, besides the cards, is you find out things about your friends that you didn't expect, or yourself that you didn't expect. And yeah, it's just amazing to watch.
That's definitely something we notice is the cards, they're hilarious and awesome, but they're more of like a guide, right? Yeah. So, because like with other similar games, you could start memorizing the cards, like if you played it enough times, and then it starts to become more of a pattern, right? But with this, like, you could memorize the cards, but then at the end of the day, it's still you. So, you know, I think, and one of the things that I mentioned in a previous video is, like, if you're like an aspiring actor, I think this is good practice. Just by yourself, is to take out the cards and just randomly put that there and then work on it. Just whatever the cards say, you got to do it right there on the spot.
Right.
Right? If you're an aspiring actor and you're going, okay, I got to pretend to be this, and then you run out of ideas, then, you know, having this deck right here would really help you out with that. And then just randomly pick stuff and get your daily practice, 10 minutes, 15 minutes a day. If you're seriously, you know, if that's what's your career going to be, you know, practice makes perfect.
Sure. Yeah, right. Because even if, you know, like one of the modifiers,
yeah,
but there's 100 choices of the situations you could be in.
Right, right.
It could be him talking to an orphan. It could be him on a date. It could be him with a clown. So it's like, even though it's a Batman character, you have to go, "Whoa, I'm in what situation with him?"
Right.
You know? So like, it really does kind of make you think. So you're right. You can't memorize anything. It all is going to be something different each time.
And that's because, like, I mean, each person could do it differently, even if the cards are exactly the same. And then not just that, you might do it differently from a year from now, or even a week from now, or if, depending on your mood or whatever, you yourself can act out the situation differently. So two types of cards, right? One is the modifier, right?
Right. So
and,
Sorry, go ahead.
And sorry, the other card is the what card?
It's called the theme card.
The theme. That's right. It's the theme and the modifier. Yeah. So the theme dictates what the situation is, and the modifier tells you like how to do it in this kind of voice or something.
Right. Yeah, it kind of modifies how you have to answer, like nasally or as a nerd or some other kind of way it gets modified. So not only you have to come up with an answer to a ridiculous situation.
Yeah.
It's like Urkel. You're like, oh my God, okay, how would Urkel handle meeting Batman or whatever it is, you know? So it's really sometimes you kind of sit there and go, whoa. And like you said, each person, because it'll be the same card for each player. But the take each person does, like sometimes you go, okay, it'll be this, it'll be that. And then someone just comes in from left field that just brings the house down.
Right.
Usually we end up laughing so hard that we just we're sore the next day. And we played this a lot of the time we did testing with professional improvers.
Oh, wow.
And oh my God, we laughed so hard. And for those who like to drink, this game lends itself as well. I'm just saying, I don't recommend it necessarily, but if you're that kind of person, it works well for this because it's uninhibited.
So
be a part of.
Oh, I'm sorry. On the holidays, right? So we had family over, and then this is what we did, man. We were gonna play this game. They hadn't played it before. Like half the people had the night before, but the other half hadn't. And
Nice.
It's kind of a new group, right? And the very first two cards, right? The theme was talk about the benefits of being being a nudist, right? Or being in a nudist camp. It was something like that. And it was like, oh my goodness, right? And then the modifier, this is family, dude. This is, like parents and everything. And then the modifier was sing it.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. And it was like, oh man, it was like, dude, it got silent. It was like, oh, I don't want to be first. No one wanted to go first, It was that was pretty rough to start with, if you could just imagine.
Cleaned up deck. We had a lot more raunchier stuff in there. So yeah. We should probably play the sticker. It's like NC-17. Just be like, hey, don't play this with family that you're really comfortable with. Because you do sing a song about nudism as a musical. You're like,
that was like, whoa.
That's hilarious. How far did you guys get in the game?
The second night we didn't get that far, but the first night we got much further. Yeah, we were doing on the cards. You could play it, I guess, just simple like that, but then they also had some descriptions on there. So we were doing that, which adds a completely new level to the game. Makes it a little bit more like a card game. Let me try to show what the heck I'm talking about here.
Are you talking about the challenge cards?
Let's see. It's not in the. It's this like with the crown.
Yeah.
The crown symbol on there. This one has the flaming hand. So we were working. Oh, this one has a 1-up icon. So we're involving those and using those. So this one has a dancing person.
Challenge, right?
And musical icon. So anyway, so yeah, this is definitely it's a crazy card game. Very unique. It seems very, very similar to what's out there, but the feel was very different, man.
Right, thank you. That's what we're going for. It has elements of familiarity. Like it's basically, I call it Cards Against Humanity. Whose line is it anyway?
Right. Yeah.
If you had to break it down into two components, that's the best way to break it down.
Yeah, I think so. 100%. That is definitely yeah.
It definitely has a more visceral and creative component than the typical card game because again, it's your mind making this stuff up without the benefit of a card to help you with your answer.
Right.
Yeah, it's definitely trippy, but it's getting a lot of people who tried it really seem to enjoy it. For the most part, they were like, okay, yeah. I mean, especially if they liked Cards Against Humanity or kind of like being a little more sassy.
Right.
And it's, yeah, like I said, family optional, but definitely play it with friends.
Whatchamacallit, is this currently on Kickstarter or is past that point?
Oh yeah, good question. Yeah, we had a Kickstarter which funded like in 50 hours. It was amazing. So thank you to all the supporters. It was amazing.
Awesome.
And we're in production right now. We had a special rare version for high-end supporters that got theirs in Christmas. Production's happening right now. It should be out. We're hoping for March, but probably more like April.
Okay.
But you can still do pre-orders on our website as well at unrulybastards.com.
Okay, nice and simple. Yeah, unrulybastards.com. Cool.
Yeah. And thank you again for your video, which shows up on Google as well. It was great. It was just, you have a very authentic feel when you do your reviews. And I appreciate as a person and a watcher of your videos. So thank you.
Thanks. Yeah. No, we had definitely a blast, trying it out and everything. And it's a challenge because you gotta beat your comfort zone, and you gotta go outside the box and go, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna freaking act this out. I'm gonna win this round or whatever. You gotta step up,
Oh my God, yeah.
You can't just be shy.
When we played it in a bar in LA, and this lady was from Denmark. She was a quantum physicist at Caltech.
Wow.
And by herself showed up to this bar, met 6 random individuals, and played this game, speaking a second language. Her first card was reactions to a enormously large penis, right? As like, I don't know, like Batman or something. And she got up and did it. And I was like, dude, I was so impressed because I would not have the balls to get out of my comfort zone in front of strangers and do this improv. She did it, and she killed it. She killed it. And we're like, so sorry. And like her first 3 cards were totally sexual. And we're just like, we're so sorry.
We're sorry.
Some of it was actually normal stuff, but she had a blast. So, but
the creators had to apologize. Oh my God, that is so funny.
Like, this is over the top. Like, oh,
this is so funny. That is awesome.
And she killed it. She won the game. I mean, we were so impressed. So it does take you out of your comfort zone. So
wow, yeah. No, it's a great way to unwind, huh? That is so cool. Oh boy. So okay, man, this is hard to go into the next topic.
Thank you for taking this much time to spend on it. I appreciate it. Yeah, we should definitely kind of
absolutely. Time goes by fast when you're having fun. All right, so we one of the subjects topics we brought up was technology, right? Just the fact that we are hundreds and hundreds of miles away from each other, but we're able to do this today, which is so cool. I remember, what was it, in the late 90s, the first time I got exposed to chat.
Right.
Just like instant messenger type stuff. I was blown away by it. I thought I was like high tech doing that stuff. I was like, man, look at me, Right. And now this like puts that, this is like the stuff that was like in movies like Total Recall and stuff,
Right? Sci-fi from 15, 20 years ago, like whether it's Gattaca and gene splicing, we got CRISPR. Like you said, Total Recall, now we got these video things and like we're chatting live.
Right.
Seamlessly. Like we're next to me. It's bizarre. It's bizarre to me.
When was Dick Tracy came out? That comic strip.
Oh, the comic strip. Oh, okay. 40s, 50s? Maybe?
In the 40s, 50s, and that guy had a what, right? That's what made him like that. That's his extra special device, right? And that gave him an advantage over everyone else. Was just basically what, like what do they call it? An iWatch?
Right. Basically, yeah, right.
so something like that, and it's crazy, that we're getting there, or maybe even surpassing it in certain levels.
For sure. It's insane. Like the amount of technology, because I'm give my age away. When I graduated college, before the next year, email came out.
Oh, okay.
I was mid-20s before email showed up. I thought that was like, what? And then the internet and Mosaic and Mark Andreessen, and I'm like, what? Netscape? It's not going to get any better than this. And then all of a sudden it came out. and then chat, then the iPhone. Like the last 20 years has been like an exponential growth in technology that is blowing my mind, where I feel like I'm 85 going, how does this thing work?
Right. Yeah.
It's 40. So it's like, yeah, it's insane to me. And I don't think our psychology, though, has caught up. You know what I mean? Like we're like a little kid who's like in a candy store eating all the candy they can without realizing the consequences of it.
Yeah.
I bring it up because I work at I used to work at I work at a college, and I see 20-year-olds all the time, 18 to 20-year-olds in this college. And they are more anxious than I've ever seen anybody in my life.
Okay.
They're always like having to look up something and make sure they're on Instagram or here faster than that, and keeping up with that and reading this and doing that. And when they stop with their phones, they don't know what to do with themselves. They get frenetic, and then all of a sudden, all 30 of them will walk down the hallway at once, and they kind of wander when they walk. So I'm dodging these, I call them electronatoms. The hallway, and then they kind of look up, and they're all startled like squirrels, and they go back to their thing, and like it's just So it's like it's amazing technology, but there are consequences that people aren't really discussing. That makes me nervous.
Oh, okay. So before we go in there, right?
Yeah, so I covered a lot. Sorry.
No, that's great. Great stuff. So like you and I, our generation, we were seeing the internet like grow, right? So I mean, right when it started coming out, how was that like? You know, going from zero, you know, to all of a sudden now it's like a modem. And dialing in is like super important, and getting to the internet, right? And it took forever, right? A lot of people don't realize it.
Right.
You know, and it took forever to get on, and just to like, you know, but at least for me, I remember it's like I don't think the people today realize this, but it really felt like you're going into outer space. Like you're going into like this world.
Yeah, right?
This darkness. And you're plugging in,
right?
And you get to start exploring here and there. You know, you might start off with like, I don't know, mythological creatures. I don't know what, you know, just whatever you're interested in, from folklore or, you know, UFOs or whatever, and just start exploring. And I remember I spent my Halloween that way, just looking up, you know, horror films or whatever, you know, and just reading about it, not even watching it, just reading about it, you know,
just pulling information out of the ether to go, oh, it's like a library you can bring to your own home. It was amazing, right? It was a huge, like that, new world, a new realm,
right?
Laptop, like what? Yeah.
And the people today is more like, I feel like they're more like what you said. They're constantly plugged in. You know, so like for us, it was more like you're living your normal daily life, and then you come home, and then now it's like you have a double life, and now you go into the internet kind of thing, right?
Right.
But today it's like 24/7. You know, they're constantly.
Yeah, and they grew up. I mean, from literally day one. If you're 18 years old, you've grown up without knowing, and only knowing the internet. You've never known since you were 2 or 3, and your mom showed you pictures of you on the phone, like. You know what I mean? That's all they know. It's integrated.
Right.
It's not even special to them. It's expected.
Right.
You know, right. Like, whoa! Like we go home, like it's like playing a video game or going watching your favorite TV show. You're like, we're gonna go online and check things out. And to them, it's like, dude, I'm always online. I can't get offline.
Right. That's 180 degrees different, right?
In 20 years, that's like in half my life. I've been half my life with like. When I was 6, Pong came out. I was like, oh, this is amazing. And
right.
Sticks and a ball. It's like ball and a stick. People would laugh at that now because the video games are ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like, it seems stupid compared to what they can do now. Like Fortnite? Come on.
Right.
But there's no appreciation because it's like, it's not working fast enough. Like, it's going to space, guys. It's got to, talking to satellites and shit. Like, what? They just don't have that same appreciation, I guess. I feel like an old war vet. They don't know what it means.
They don't know.
They just don't know the world without that, so they don't see the difference.
The crazy thing with Pong is like, because that was the high-tech stuff back then. That was the high-tech stuff that you could have in your home. And so dad's playing it, but then it's simple enough that the kids could play it.
Right.
So it's kind of like it's dad's toy, but you guys get to play with it too, kind of thing, right?
Yeah. Family friendly.
today it's, you know, dad probably has his own system and the kids have their own system, right? I mean, it's
exactly.
It's like, don't touch my system, Dad. What? You know?
2 years ago, you're way old. I'm on
yeah.
number 9. You're like, oh my God. Okay. Yeah.
So where do you think we're headed then? I think do you think the frequency is going to be like a lot more now? Like even right now, I feel like we're constantly can't put the phones down and stuff. But then it's just going to be like, you know what? We don't have to put the phones down because it's in here. It's already in you. Kind of thing.
Donnie Mnemonic, the 90s again, bringing the sci-fi thing back. That's what I'm kind of afraid of, but I think they're going to integrate it super slowly. This is what I've noticed in the past. They do this. They'll take a new technology, like let's say they want to put, the end goal is to put something in your brain.
Yeah.
Right? That's the end goal. So they can't start with that. It's too dramatic. It is. It's too dramatic. I put a chip in your brain. You're like, whoa. But how about this? What if you put a graphene tattoo on your arm that can transmit data from your phone and maybe warm up your collar, or somehow the tattoo can light up, something on the body that does something that nothing internal yet.
Right, right.
And that won't be fast enough. And then they're going to, oh, maybe we make it thicker or put it in the skin just a little subcutaneously. Then we can transmit into your nervous system. Okay, cool. And then it'll be a chip in the arm, and then it'll be one in the neck. Then it'll go to the brain. But they'll do it, and they'll use you through medical progressions.
Yeah.
For this kind of reasons, and then that makes it safe, and then someone's like, "Well, I want it," and then it becomes a fad, and then it becomes expected, and then the norm.
So I think that's awesome what you pointed out. So right now we have accessory, right? The watch, right? They try to do the glasses, kind of failed, but those are accessories, right? So accessories, the next step is clothes, right? And then after clothes, maybe like you said, freaking
tattoos or something, yeah,
or even piercings, right?
Right, exactly right. They'll do it 1 degree at a time. That's how you boil a frog.
Right.
Like they'll increment it like up until they finally go, oh, it'll be faster if you just put it in our brains. Then we can get it super fast, and we're always online.
Right.
And you're going to go, no,
no. So ultimately, that's where it's going, right?
That's going that way for sure.
Probably, right? Logically speaking, it seems like that's the logical step. But like you're saying, hopefully, you know, I think in my lifetime, I don't think so.
I don't know. I don't like. There's people like Kurzweil and the other guy who like you already put like 100 electrodes in his forearm, and people that capture their consciousness, and like there's money and technology right now. I think people are like just trying to do that. Maybe not.
Mainstream. Not mainstream yet. No.
But there are small subsets of really rich, like people that were tech guys that really want to live forever, kind of thing. I think they can do it. But,
yeah, and wow. So that takes us to living forever, right? I mean, so if you could get your brain right and map that out into a program,
right,
then. Now, even if the body's gone, you could always come up with, you know, different kinds of bodies. Maybe at first it looks more like a tank. I don't know, but then first become more.
It gets better.
Yeah. But that's, you know.
Right.
So then, yeah, that's interesting.
But I think that though the problem with that, and this is mad conjecture here, that subsumes though that consciousness is a manifestation of the brain.
Right.
Which may not be the case. It could be a signal built into the fabric of space and time, and our brains are just antennas accepting consciousness. So maybe we're never going to even be able to replicate it 100%.
Right.
We'll just get really fast thinking machines, but not a conscious being.
And it thinks in the probability of what the real you or the real me would do, but that doesn't necessarily make it really you or me, you know.
Right. It makes it a nano fast mimicry.
Right, exactly. It is a mimic. Yeah.
Right. It's like a really good
copy. Yeah,
exactly. I think that's what they're going to tap out, or they're either going to try to make humans more like robots because it's easier because you have a consciousness already. Just fit the body with new robotic parts. Versus trying to make a consciousness out of nothing. Take one that exists and make it more like a robot rather than make a robot that's more like a human.
Is
Either way,
it,
up the center.
is it easier to repair a person or is it easier to repair a robot? And I think right now it's easier to repair the robot. So,
so it make the human more like a robot, but keep its brain. I mean, that's the. I think they're going to finally realize that's like the negative space in art. Instead of drawing the hole, just draw the space around it, kind of thing. I think they go, wait a minute, we make humans more like robots. Perfect.
Right. But now we're going kind of like into the cybernetic stuff, RoboCop, right? To put it simply. And the other route is the Terminator route, right? Which is
right.
the machines developing more and more and more and more. You know, like you were saying, the copy becomes more and more advanced to where it's at what point does the copy become the same, equal to the original? You know,
indistinguishable, right?
Yeah. So you have two different routes. One is like you're saying, the person becoming more like a machine, which is RoboCop, and then the other route, which is the Terminator, which is
human
machine becoming more and more like a human. So, and then eventually, I guess they're going to meet. The RoboCop and the Terminator will.
It's like two circuitous routes to the same destination.
Right.
Like right now, it's harder to build a humanoid robot, but it's easy to make a human a robot. They have fake limbs and arms. I thought a new thing with new skin they have for prosthetic things that have like you can feel heat, cold, pressure, and that's built in soon too. So it's like it's kind of like fake the eyeballs. Like they can do all kinds of cool cybernetic stuff.
Yeah,
it's still experimental, but it's just a function of time until that becomes normal as well.
Right. And I guess medically we got to go in that direction anyway, right?
Again, like that's how they do it. They start off with a medical reason, and then all of a sudden they go, "Hey, this works out great. What if we gave our soldiers fake skin that was also heat resistant? Combine that with some graphene nanobot thing to make them run a little bit faster.
Yeah.
And fast forward and chip in the brain. You know, and all it's going to end up at that point. It's just 1 degree.
Chip in the brain. Yeah.
I mean, I've noticed any good technology, like they go 3 things that are evil, like it's like usually war, fighting, weapons, and then 1 medical thing.
One medical thing, yeah.
1 medical thing. Until it becomes a fad, then they figure out a way to mass produce it and then make it ubiquitous to everybody. And you're like, I see it happen over and over again. So that's why I'm super weary. Like I love technology.
Yeah.
As long as it's beneficial to humankind and the planet. But when technology is just because we can, like, and I love Elon Musk, dude, but flamethrowers? Fuck, dude, we don't need flamethrowers in California. Arizona already. You know what I mean? Like things like that. I'm like, that's not going to help. That's not going to help. It's cool, but it's not going to help anything, and it's just kind of wasting materials. So a rich person can have a $10,000 flamethrower. Right. Okay. We don't really have resources to piss away anymore. Right. This is in the 1800s in the forest and stuff. Like we got to be more. So I get weary about that aspect of technology. But
did you see the new Predator?
I did.
You did? Okay. Wow. Then I kind of feel bad that Rob's not here.
Right. I would like his perspective on this too. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah. So speaking of the technology, right? What do you think about? So we have like this Terminator, and we have like the RoboCop. Do you think they'll get along? I mean, this is way in the future, right? So we go this route. Do you think they'll get along, or do you think they'll fight each other?
Honestly, okay. This is again. I've never been asked this question before, so the first thing that pops in my head: the human robot would probably end up making a hierarchical class system where they're better than the robot human. That's the first thing that popped in my mind is nope, we'll make them second-class citizens because we're still human and our ego trumps universal law apparently. So I think that's what would happen. We would find some way to program them so they're not quite like us, but can do a lot of stuff for us.
They're the servants, but then at some point, you know, they're going to figure that out, right? And they're going to be like, wait a minute, we're more advanced in many ways. We're better. Right. So why are we inferior here, right?
I see that point, and I've heard that maybe before, and there is merit to that. But I want to counterpoint that with this. Horses. They're a 2-ton animal. They stand 6 feet at the shoulder. They can jump a 12-foot wall like it's nothing. They can crush a human being.
Right.
I've seen little girls whip those motherfuckers into shape, you know, so they can ride them.
Right.
And they're also afraid of the wind. But like, I'm like, I think that horse, like, if you recognize you could kill this creature, but you don't, you know. So I kind of think maybe the robots, if we program them, because they'll be programmed by us.
Yeah.
I think if they have their own consciousness, though, like it gets really convoluted near the center of all this. Because if they have their own consciousness, then they really can't be programmed.
Okay.
So, but if they're programmable, then they're just a really good mimicry machine.
Yeah.
Case, I think you'll be able to tweak it just so they're subservient, like a beta dog,
right,
without being wanting to what do you call it, like revolt,
right.
That comes down to treatment, though. As long as you treat them so much, I think they're going to be like a dog. They'll be obedient if you give them enough love but discipline, without being a total dick. You're a total dick, they'll bite you.
Right, and you deserve it, right? So. But we're going into the next topic, which I think we should save for next time. And this is now like going into Westworld, right?
Right, yeah. So I'm all over the place, man. Sorry.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, which is awesome stuff, fascinating stuff. So let's go in. Let's save that for next time. And I think this time we talked long enough, especially for our first episode. This was pretty good. So
I had a great time. So
let's likewise. So dude, it was awesome having you. Looking forward to doing this again with you. All right. Yes, definitely. So this is wmpyr signing out, and also Mr. Ryck as well. And see you guys later. All right.
Bye.